Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Winchester Speedway for the first racing event here of 2024 on AG the channel. This here, the opening event of the Champion Superstar Series, a small little racing project that we're going to do before the Wawa Cup Series kicks off in 3 weeks. We're excited to see how this all ends up shaking out. A bit of a mix between real-life XRS and what the old IROC series used to be, as we got ourselves a lot of champions here in the field, which we'll go over in just a moment. But we're excited to see how all this plays out. And hey, next week it's Wawa Cup Series signups in the Discord. Don't miss that. January 19th, we're going to have a whole show with the draft lottery, the signups. We're going to do the draft on stream as well, and we're also going to go ahead and talk about the Wawa Cup Series and how we think it's all going to end up shaking out. And the guy who starts on the pole for this first heat race here tonight, Drew Webb, he was the Cup Series champion last year, so we're excited for all that. But in the meantime, we got a little bit of racing action here in the Champion Superstar Series to cure the winter blues before we head into the Wawa Cup Series. And I'm joined alongside Nathan Stapleton to help me call the action here tonight for the first race of the season. Nathan, we got ourselves some of the best drivers who have ever raced on the channel, and especially in 2023. How do you think these guys are going to race it out, knowing that they are some of the best drivers that we do have on the channel?
Well, if you wanted the best drivers of 2023 on the channel, you got them here. Luna, Alpha, Gutierrez, Keys, Jouet, Tut, Samuel, Tuet, Trotzel, Tono, Zidell, Shoals, and Webb. These are some of the best drivers all year long. Of course, 2 of them got voted in and pit in, but the other 10 are some of the best of the channel. They had fantastic 2023s, and that is why they are a part of this mini 3-event series. And I am very much looking forward to what ends up happening here for the next 3 weeks for the series.
It's going to be fun, you know, get the racing kicked in gear here before we get to the Wawa Cup Series, and I think some of these guys might have a little bit of an advantage. Of course, there's no ratings in this series, of course. Everyone is in an equal car with equal ratings. But like I said, some of the best drivers we had in 2023, and Nathan just listed off all 12 of them, but we'll go through the field here. Now, the starting lineup here for the first heat, and we'll have 2 heats and then a feature event here tonight. So 2 25-lap races and then a 50-lap race. And there will be points awarded for each race. We'll get to that in a second, but we'll go through the drivers. Of course, Drew Webb, the Wawa Cup Series champion from 2023. We'll start on the pole position there in the number 99. Right behind him, Nicolas Samadio, who was runner-up in the Wawa Cup Series. Of course, Drew Webb starts on the pole for this heat race, and the rest of the starting lineup determined by the amount of wins each of these drivers has on the channel, not including the 2 drivers who are select drivers for this race only, Jesse Turner and Justin Zidell. Thomas Troxel was 3rd place in the Wawa Cup Series. That's how he got into the Superstar Series for this year. That's Blaine Keys in the number 41, and Blaine actually tied with Drew Webb for the most wins on the channel, and that is his reason for being in this series. Matt Tuck there in the 54 was the 4th place driver in the Wawa Cup Series. You got Avery Alford there, the Wawa Sprint Series champion in the number 4. Number 98, that car driven by Vinny Scholes, the Rowdy Energy Pro Series champion. The Haas IndyCar Series champion from last year, the 00 of Luna Lona. The Turkey Hill Truck Series champion of Ludovic Charette in the 51. The Indianapolis 250 winner of Angel Gutierrez. And then the 2 drivers who are in this race and this race only for the Champion Superstar Series. The fan vote of Jesse Turner. He did make 1 start, so he was eligible, and he got the most votes for this Winchester race, so great to see Jesse Turner back behind the wheel. And hey, I'm looking forward to seeing if he makes it into the Wawa Cup Series later on next week, I should say. Justin Zidell, my own personal choice to make it in the number 79, the winner of the Christmas Eve Showdown. Those are your 12 drivers here for heat number 1. Be 25 laps, and the winner of this race will receive 12 points all the way down to 1 point for last. There are no bonus points for leading laps or leading the most laps. And then we will have the feature event, which will award 25 points to whoever wins that. So we will have a championship in the 3 events that we have, and whoever has the most points wins the championship. So we'll have to see who is the best of our champions from 2023. In the meantime, though, we're going to go ahead and get these guys to roll off from the Winchester Speedway for the first of 2 heats. Of course, if you guys remember seeing what we saw in the Rowdy Energy Pro Series race here, I think we're in store for a pretty crazy event here today. Drew Webb starting on the pole position alongside Nicholas Sambidio there. Troxel and Blaine Keys in row 2. Got Matt Tuck, Avery Alford, Vinny Schultz, Luna Lona, Ladovic Shred, Angel Gutierrez, and then Jesse Turner and Justin Zidell. We'll invert the finishing order for the starting lineup in heat number 2, and then the best average finishing position will make up the starting lineup for the feature event. Here we go. The Superstar Series is underway. We're racing in 2024 on AG the channel. And a good run there for Drew Webb at the start, but Troxel, Matt Tuck, that whole inside lane is going to get the advantage at the start. Nicholas Sambidio, Blaine Keys, the 2 drivers who started on the outside lane. Not really getting much to go their way, but still 25 laps. A long ways to go for these guys to gain an advantage. But definitely not where you want to go. As for the race lead, Matt Tuck's going to take it away from Drew Webb on lap number 2. Great run for Matt Tuck in the 54.
Great one for Matt Tuck, and here comes my driver that got us a owner's driver's championship. Benny Scholes, and she's already moving her way up to the front. And here we go, battle race lead between Tuck and Scholes.
Yeah, Vinny Scholes, the only driver, I think, who was in that Rowdy Energy Pro Series race that's in this race here today. She's going to take the race lead from Matt Tuck there. Already 3 different leaders in this race, only 4 laps in. Ladovic Charette, Jesse Turner. How about Jesse? It's been a while since he's run on the channel. He did run in the Christmas Eve showdown, but it's been a while since he's been in any full-time ride. And this is the only race he's going to be in here in the Superstar Series. Well, he's taking advantage of it right now. Moving to the inside for second on Ladovic Charette. Meanwhile, the other driver who's only going to be in this race, Justin Zidell, moving his way on that inside lane. Gutierrez there moved up a little bit in the 16, and these guys have shuffled around all over the place for the top of this heat. Blaine Keys to the inside of Gutierrez there, and the pole sitter, Drew Webb, along with the outside pole sitter, Nicholas Sambidio. They're 10th and 11th right now, with Alfred in the back of the field here. However, Samidio's in the wall hard right there. That's a tough hit for him. These guys will end up starting up front again if they finish back there for heat number 2. Jesse Turner up to second, trying to close in on Vinny Scholes. We got Justin Zidell and Ladovic Charette there for the 3rd position, and Blaine Keys rounds out the top 5 right now.
Tell you what, Jesse Turner, he is trying to make an impression for the remaining World Cup Series owners, because let's say he signs up in driver's license and he's a option for the owners on draft lottery night. He could easily get a spot in this year's World Cup Series, and I would love to see Turner in the Cup Series and see what he can do here, because he's putting on an impressive show. And here we go for the race lead, goes Turner.
And there goes Jesse Turner to the race lead. The only downside, these heat races do not count as official wins. Only the feature event will count as only the feature will count as an official win towards the channel. I'm talking a little too fast. You know, that's why we're doing this series. Get all the bugs out before we get to the Wawa Cup Series, and then we're smooth as ice on the commentary once we get there. But hey, I don't think Turner needs to prove a point here. He's Jesse freaking Turner. Won the first ever race on the channel almost 9 years ago, by the way. I'm pretty sure if he's in that Wawa Cup Series draft, he's probably going to be the first driver to be picked. Whoever ends up getting that first spot. Well, we'll find that out next week. We're excited for that. It's going to be a lot of fun seeing who ends up in those last 12 rides for the Wawa Cup Series in 2024. Turner pulling away, and that'll be 12 points. The downside for Turner is he won't be in the next 2 races since he is a fan vote driver. But hey, a win is still a win. And I know this is a lot of momentum for Jesse Turner. He wants to go into the Cup Series this coming year. Vinny Scholes in second right there. Justin Zidell in third. Blaine Keys and Thomas Troxel round out the top 5 now. We've got a lot of movement going on throughout the whole field here. This is definitely a pretty wild racetrack. Matt Tuck slipping back. Avery Alford trying to move his way through the field in the 4 machine. You got Ladovic kind of in the middle. Luna Lona comfortably in the 6th position right there. And Thomas Troxel moving to the inside of Justin Zidell there for the 3rd position.
Yeah, this racetrack's definitely a unique one. I've never tried this track out on another before, but this is unique little setup that we got here with what you've done, and producing some fantastic racings like Dell in the 4th spot, and have to watch out for Trot still trying to chase down Vinny Shoals as, oh boy.
A little tight there between Avery Alford and Luna Lana. Those two drivers battled out a lot in the Sprint Series over the summer, over the course of 2023. Alford ended up winning the Sprint Series title away from Sam Adowskin on the last race. Gutierrez moving his way up, got around Sam Adio and Truepp. You know, isn't it interesting that arguably the two best drivers in this field, Sam Adio and Truepp, who were the top 2 drivers in points in the Wawa Cup Series, are currently sitting right at the back of the field. They have not really had a good run on this race, and we called a race, Nathan, where a driver went from second to last pretty quickly. And that's kind of what's going on right here. Turner is comfortably in the lead right now. Matt Tuck to the inside of Gutierrez. He's trying to rebound. So is Sam Adio, but they are still deep in the field. You got Alford here on Blaine Keys, looking to take that position away. Avery Alford now up to the 5th position. This 4 machine is definitely finding some speed late in the going here in this first heat. But Jesse Turner's a little too far out ahead, I think, for anybody to catch up to him. Vinny Scholes still second, and it's Troxel and Justin Zeidel with Alford in the 5th position.
I have no clue of what they got with that sub right now, but they have a long car for Avery Alford in that number 4 machine, absolutely moving throughout the field up to the 5th spot, and easily could get 4 and maybe the 3rd spot as well before this race is over. But I think this heat might be all but over unless something drastic happens to Turner. He has a 2+ second lead. I think he's probably going to get this heat 1 win, but here comes Alfred for the 4th spot for the number 4.
And Alfred trying to get as many points as he can. Of course, there is a championship at stake for these guys, and these heat races, well, they offer half the points as the features, and there's 2 of them. So if you win both heats, it's like winning the feature. And then if you sweep all 3, well, you got yourself a decent amount of points right there. And Alford with a very fast race car. He's to the inside of Troxel now for the 2nd position. He might actually get Vinny Scholes. That 98 a little wide right there. And if it weren't for the fact that Turner had a 2-second lead right here, I'd say Alford might win this thing. But how about Avery Alford, who was at the back of the field not too long ago? Found a lot of speed and looking to gain as many points as he possibly can. Of course, he's going to be full-time in the Cup Series next year for Harrisville Motorsports. Going to be fascinating to see what he can do there. But how about Jesse Turner in the 75? It's a shame that this isn't an official win because this would be the first race of the year officially. But hey, we still got the feature, and starting lineup for that feature event is determined by the average finishing position of the 2 heats. And Turner's going to kick it off on the right foot and get the race victory in heat number 1. Jesse Turner will get 12 points towards the championship for this one. Avery Alford finishes 2nd. Vinny Scholes, Thomas Troxel, and Justin Zeidel, the top 5.
A clinic from Turner, but if Turner did not have that 2-second lead, it was almost 2.5 seconds, and then as soon as maybe we took the lead, took 2nd, closed in to 1.8. So clearly Alfred was the fastest car late, and if Turner didn't have a 2-second lead, then it could have been interesting about what would have happened. But great one from Scholes, and have to see what ends up happening in heat race number 2 with these guys in the back and the guys in the back up front.
Definitely an interesting run right there for Jesse Turner, who started in the 11th position, moved his way to 1st. Of course, there's only 12 cars in the field. It's a little bit easier to work your way from the back to the front, and especially on a track like this where that outside lane has absolutely no grip. I mean, look at Nicholas Samadia. He was in the back of the field the majority of that race, moved up to 6th place. So we'll have to see when we get to the 50-lap feature event how the tire wear might come into effect. So Turner gets the win in Heat 1. He'll start 12th in Heat number 2. Matt Tuck and Angel Gutierrez will be on the front row for Heat number 2 here. And then, of course, the average finishing position of the 2 heats will determine the starting lineup for the feature event. And that feature event is for an official win on the channel and 25 points towards the championship here in the Superstar Series. Let's get on to Heat number 2. Jesse Turner and Avery Alford are going to be in the back of the field with Matt Tuck and Angel Gutierrez leading us off here at the Winchester Speedway. All right. Here we are for Heat number 2 here from the Winchester Speedway. And Jesse Turner winning the first heat, so That helps his chances of starting on the pole for the feature event here in just a few minutes. But first we got the second heat to determine, and of course 12 more points to award out as well. And keep in mind, too, there's going to be a championship. You'll see the points at the end of the video and see how the championship stacks up going into our next race at South Boston. But inverse of where we finished from heat number 1, to start this one out here in heat number 2, Matt Tuck and Angel Gutierrez in row number 1. Drew Webb and Ludovic Charette there in row number 2. You got Blaine Keys and Luna Lona in row number 3. Nicholas Samedeo, Justin Zidell make up row number 4. Thomas Troxel and Vinny Scholes in row 5. And then Avery Alford and Jesse Turner, who won the first heat there in row number 6. And Turner started 11th. Alford starts 11th for this heat, and Alford had a really fast car on that first heat. We'll have to see if he can work his way through the field and have a good shot at the pole for the feature event. These guys to roll off. Nathan, how do you think it's going to play out here in this second heat? We saw a lot of guys overshoot the corners. Do you think we're going to see it again?
I do believe so. I think that's just the nature of this racetrack. There's not a lot of grip on the high side, and I think that's what we will see again. It's going to be interesting of how the drives up front failed, because in heat 1, if you started on the front row, you fell to the back of the field early on. Let's see if that happens to Alfred and Tuck again here this time.
Chris Angels Gutierrez in probably the worst position to start out, and then outside pole in the 16. We'll have to see what he can do, though. Still going for that first stock car win. Of course, these heat races do not count as official wins, but we'll see if he can get it to go his way here in heat number 2. Matt Tuck's going to get a good jump at the start, and Drew Webb's going to get a good jump at the start as well. Of course, the inside, and look at Troxel! Oh my goodness, and he's putting Charette in the wall. That 62 was like, I'm going to go ahead and take this. He finished 4th in that first heat, and he is in 5th now. So, Troxel not wasting any time, and same with Avery Alford, already in the first half of the field in a lap and a half there. That's how bad that outside lane is, but, oh, Matt Tuck's going to lose the grip on the inside, and here comes Drew Webb in the 99, and that was a close one at the line. Looks like Drew's going to get it right there. Blaine Keys trying to split those guys as Tuck's going to fall back. Alford's got it on Troxel right there. Turner's also trying to work his way back through the field. Gutierrez going to make a move to the inside of Vinny Scholes. Zidell, Samedeo. You got to be careful not to get into it, because we could end up with a wreck. And we do have the cautions turned on if that in fact happens. How about Avery Alford? Already up to 2nd.
I think we have the 3 drivers that we are going to have to keep an eye out in the feature here today. I think it's going to come down to Avery Alford, Jesse Turner, and maybe either Blaine Keys or Thomas Troxel. I think those might be the 3 or 4 here to watch out for, but I think the number 1 guy is Avery Alford. He is absolutely flying once again here in heat number 2.
And this is a sign of things to come in the Wawa Cup Series this year. You got the Cup Series champion, and then the Sprint Series champion, and well, Alford didn't have the best of runs in the Truck Series. He also was not on a good team in the Truck Series. He's going to be on a much better team in the Cup Series, and we'll just have to see. He looks like he's going to go for the race lead here in lap number 6 of Heat 2. Not going to lead this lap. Of course, lap leads do not count towards any points. It's just the finishing results of these heats and features that award points. But how about that? The top 2 guys who finished in that first heat are 1st and 3rd right now. And Jesse Turner trying to work his way through the field. Same with Justin Zidell. How about these 2 invitees to this Winchester race in the Champion Superstar Series? They're not going to be in any of the other races at South Boston or New Smyrna, but you know what? They're taking the best. They're taking advantage of this opportunity, I should say, trying to get a win here in the Superstar Series. Ludovic Charette. He's in the 5th position now as Blaine Keys slips back in the 41. And the 2 drivers who started front row, Gutierrez and Matt Tuck, they're quite a ways back. Troxel had that burst of a jump at the start. Not been a good day for this guy, Nicholas Samedeo. And Vinny. Ooh, something happened to Vinny. She's 12 seconds off the pace right there in the 98 machine.
Yeah, I might have saw some skimmers off the turn board down the front stretch. So I'm assuming something happened to Vinny, unfortunately, to my driver that won the Rally Energy Pro Series title this fall in a tough way, and that's not going to help her starting spot in the feature, as here comes the number 79 of Justin Zidell, Lord picked up from this week, and he's trying to say that, hey, That was a good pick for picking the Alex, and he's trying to challenge Webb and Alpha for this top spot.
Almost going 3 wide, doing it as well. We may actually go 3 wide. Here we go! We are 3 wide! And they're a little tight off the corner. Zeidel's gonna lead that lap right there. Drew Webb might put Alfred in the wall. But how about that 79 machine of Justin Zeidel? Of course, won the Christmas Eve showdown and kind of did so in dominating fashion as well. And that was my reasoning for picking him for today's event. And you know what? He's showing why I picked him. How about the 2 drivers who were invited to this race, looking to win the first 2 heats? Speaking of Jesse Turner, he is in 5th right now. He and Avery Alford might be in the best positions to start up front for the feature event here in just a moment. There's Nicholas Samedeo in the 59. Not a good run for Mr. Cheer today. At least in this race. He actually did rebound in that first heat, but not really doing too well on this one. Ludovic Charette there in the 51 machine, looking to close his way in. And this is a guy we're really looking forward to watching in the Cup Series this year, driving for Grattan Autosport. Looking to take 3rd away from Avery Alford, and he is going to do so.
Charette looking really, really solid here in the 3rd spot, trying to keep it. And he will, and he might challenge second 2 blue cars down for the 2nd place spot. Webb and Charette side by side in turn number 1. Charette's easily going to get now, trying to chase down Zeidel, who won a little bit high in 1 and 2. And Charette trying to make up 3 spots in, 2 laps, and looks like he's going to do so.
Look at that. Look at our Turkey Hill Trucks' champion as Alfred hard on the outside wall right there. Not exactly what you want to do. We saw, I think, Vinnie Scholes do that, and she fell off the pace quite a bit. But how about Ludovic right here? And that was a run very similar to Avery Alford at the end of the first heat right there. A lot of speed late in the going. And Ludovic trying to pull away and win this heat. Justin Zeidel in 2nd. Drew Webb is 3rd. You know, Drew's had a much better run in this one than the first heat. He finished in the 10th position in heat number 1, looking to finish 3rd here in heat number 2. Alfred still in a great position. So is Jesse Turner. Those 2 drivers may end up tying for the top position. And we will break the ties based on the amount of wins on the channel. So obviously Jesse's got that on Avery Alford. Jesse Turner has 24 total wins on the channel, I think. Actually, no, he's at 25. Sam Medeo's the one at 24, and it's Fitzwater who is in the other position. Meanwhile, Ludovic and Justin battling for the top position. Did Zeidel get a run on the outside there, or did Ludovic fall back? That was kind of interesting right there, because Ludovic led that last lap, but Zeidel was to the outside of him. But Ludovic's going to remain out front.
I could be wrong, but I think I saw some kind of debris down the back stretch. So I don't know if maybe the 51 hit the outside wall and that allows the 79 to close back in. I don't know. Real stuff is happening here in these 2 that we are not seeing, but we only have 3 laps to go, and Charette is back out front.
Gutierrez has some damage to the right side of his car. This is definitely, you know, the camera angles on this track don't allow us to see everything, and I think that's kind of been the case, but Ludovic's still out front in this 51 machine with Justin Zeidel in 2nd. You got Drew Webb. Alfred going to try to get a podium here in this 2nd heat and try to break that tie with Turner. It's very possible he could do so, but Ludovic Charette, he finished in the 9th position in the first heat, looking to win this one. It's the white flag in Heat 2 from Winchester for Ludovic Charette, the Turkey Hill Truck Series champion who won that championship in dominating fashion. But also, keep in mind, too, that he was in championship contention going into the finale race of the Wawa Cup Series as well. Ludovic Charette is definitely a wheelman. He's going to get heat number 2. Zeidel finishes 2nd. Drew Webb, Alford, Matt Tuck. Look at that, 54. He was coming fast in that 54 machine. Turner's going to fall to 7th. And Gutierrez will end up finishing in the 6th position for heat number 2. But Ludovic Charette wins heat 2. That's going to be 12 points towards the Superstar Series championship for him. You see the official results of that race right there. And we'll get the average finishing position figured out and then line them up for the feature event here. So what are you looking for in this 50-lap feature, Nathan? Who do you think might have the best advantage going into it?
I did think it was going to be maybe Alfred and Jesse Turner, but now might have to watch out for Chouette and maybe Vidal. There's so many good drivers, it's hard to tell, but it's gonna be interesting of how things work out in the feature with it being double the lane, 50 laps instead of 25.
We'll have to see how it ends up shaking out, and tire wear may come into effect. We may see a caution. It's possible the way these guys have been racing. We're just going to have to see 50 laps for the feature event here tonight for the first race of the Champion Superstar Series. We'll go ahead and get you guys the starting lineup for that in just a moment. Let's go ahead and see who gets it here at Winchester. Ludovic Charette will get the Heat 2 win. I think it's going to be Avery Alford, though, leading us to the green flag for the 50-lap feature event. But we'll find out right now here from the Winchester Speedway in the Champion Superstar Series. And here we go for the feature event of the night here in the Champion Superstar Series from the Winchester Speedway. And 50 laps to determine the official first winner of 2024 here on the channel. And Avery Alford with the best average finishing position. He comes into this race the points leader with 20 total points on the championship already from those first two heat races. Justin Zaidel will start second. Jesse Turner and Ludovic Charette will make up row number 2. Drew Webb and Thomas Troxel in row 3. Vinny Scholes and Luna Lona make up row 4. And then Nicholas Samadeo, Blaine Keys in row 5. Matt Tuck and Angel Gutierrez make up the last row. Any ties were broken by the amount of wins each driver had on the channel. Well, Nathan, we saw the heat races, both 25 laps. This is a 50-lap heat race, and the tire wear is just as much as it was in the first two. So once we get to the end of this feature event, the tires are really going to be falling off. What do you expect here in this final 50-lap feature here from the Winchester Speedway?
Well, we saw at the end of the 25-lap heat races that they were already washing up the racetrack. Tire was already taking into effect. And now, with it being 50 laps, tire might be even more of a problem late and could cause a problem for some of these drivers in the second half. And if someone makes a mistake because of the tire, who knows, we could have a late race caution and change everything up here. From what I've seen so far, this track's wild and not a lot of room for error, and have to wait and see who keeps it clean for 50 laps.
And of course, whoever wins this 50-lap heat race will get 25 total points added on. Then it goes 22, 20, and so on, 2 points per position, going down to 2 points for finishing in the last position. And of course, you guys will see the point standings after the first event once we finish out with this feature event here from the Winchester Speedway. Let's go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here with Avery Alford leading us to the green flag. We went over the starting lineup. You'll see that on the side of your screen real quick. And Nathan, finally, I'm going to give you the opportunity here. Who do you think is going to get the win in this feature event? The first feature event here of this Champion Superstar Series.
Well, it's going to be a tough one to make a decision because all these drivers are really, really good. Some of the best on the channel and some past champions last year. But I'm going to go with... Oh, screw it. I'm going to do... Drew Webb will win.
That's a safe bet. That's a safe bet. As long as he doesn't blow the tire on the last lap, he'll be fine. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to have some fun here with this feature event. Avery Alford and Justin Zaidel on the front row. Here we go. The Superstar Series is underway for the first feature of the year. Oh, and already back in there, it's Troxel. And more contact there. Luna Lona and Blaine Keys go around. And we went the first two heats without any caution. We're going to open this one up with a caution. Matt Tuck and Thomas Troxel tangle there. Gutierrez and Luna Lona tangled after that. And the race back to the line. We had one, by the way. It was won by Jesse Turner because they had crossed the line before that caution came out. So Turner up front in the 75 machine. That was not the start we expected, that's for sure. And Luna Lona coming down the pit lane. She has significant damage to the 00 machine right there. She got sent into the inside wall hard.
It's not the way we wanted to start this feature.
Not at all. Like I said, we went the first 2 heats without any issue. Well, technically without any issue. We did have a couple of moments in the second heat there, but no caution. But we're going to have ourselves a restart right there. So Turner is the race leader as he beats Avery Alford to the line there. You got damage there on Ludovic Charette, who was pushed up in the wall. And then Troxel and Matt Tuck caught up, and then Luna Lona and the 00 still on the pit lane. That might do it for her here tonight. IndyCar Series champion right there. All right, let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution here. And the first caution of the year on the channel. The first major accident here in the Champion Superstar Series from Winchester. We'll take a look here and see what happened to Ludovic Charette and Thomas Troxel. And Charette just got a little wide, and Troxel overshot the corner to the inside of him. And, yeah, not much you can really do in that situation right there. I think we made it a little too slow. And, man, Ludovic's done that a lot. He did that in the heat race. And then you got Matt Tuck, who's just an innocent victim of all this. Getting caught up there with the 62 as he came down, and then just ahead of him, Luna Lona trying to avoid Ludovic Charette. Cuts down on Blaine Keys. And Blaine Keys putting Luna Lona in the inside wall, and Blaine also getting some damage from that as well. I mistakenly said that Gutierrez was the one that spun Lona to the inside. That was not the case. Tough break for all the guys involved. Lona will be a lap down, but that actually will be it. Everyone else will stay on the lead lap here at the Winchester Speedway. And we'll replay this in real time, and then Troxel there. Putting Charette in the wall, bouncing back down on Tuck. That is what brought out the caution, and then this occurred right here. Luna Lona getting sent into the inside wall by Blaine Keys. But that's the way it goes. Here was the race back to the line, which we missed, by the way. Jesse Turner peeking to the inside of Alford and winning the race to the line. So our Heat 1 winner will be restarting first when we get back to racing here from the Winchester Speedway. We're back here at the Winchester Speedway after a wreck on the first lap of the race. Technically the second. They did go around for a second time there. And Jesse Turner, as we saw, beat out Avery Alford at the line. You got Drew Webb running third, Vinny Scholes in fourth, Nicholas Samadillo is fifth, Justin Seidel, Ludovic Charette even with that damage, the Heat 2 winner, Blaine Keys, Angel Gutierrez, Thomas Troxel, Matt Tuck, and Luna Lona back out there in the 00, however, she is a lap down. Back underway here on lap 8 of 50. We'll see what Avery Alford can do here in the 4, but with everyone single file, how about Nicholas Samadillo going for it on Drew Webb? I'm sure he loves doing that. For all the times he lost to Drew Webb in the Wall Cup Series, he's going to take second away from Alford, at least attempt to do so there, trying to work the inside. Oh, man. And, you know, there ain't no better way than starting the year off with these two guys, 1-2. Jesse Turner, Nicholas Samadillo. Too bad we don't have Fitzy in here, because those are the 3 winningest drivers on the channel, but look at Mr. Edge going from 5th to 1st in 2 laps.
That's some Mr. Edge type stuff right there. Samadillo with a fantastic restart. And here comes Seidel in the 79 and Blaine Keys as well. All 1, 2, 3 out of nowhere. And I was going to say that my sleeper pick was going to be Avery Alford, but now that number 4 machine is not really anywhere to be seen. For it, barely inside the top 5 as Gutierrez to the inside of Alford. But now, here we go, Seidel and Mr. Edge.
And Justin's got the advantage here on the inside lane, and Justin Seidel going to take the race lead on lap number 12. Nicholas Samadillo going to slip back just a little bit right there. And you got Ludovic Charette. You know, Ludovic had a really good run in heat number 2, and he's already back up to 3rd here in the feature, even after getting caught up in that accident. And how about Angel Gutierrez? Didn't have a good run in either of the 2 heats there. Trying to rebound here, trying for his first ever stock car win. Of course, this feature event does count as an official win on the channel. This right here, the first official race of 2024. So we'll see who ends up getting it done here tonight for the first race of the Champion Superstar Series. Yeah, Matt Tuck there on Avery Alford. Trying to gain some bit of an advantage here after getting caught up in that accident. Alfred slipping back. Same with Jesse Turner. You know, one thing I have noticed here tonight, the drivers who have started up front, they have slipped back as the race has gone along, and it's not worked out too well for him. You see Thomas Troxel, Andrew Webb in the 10th and 11th positions there, as Nicholas Samadillo back to the inside for the race lead on Justin Zaidel. And then you got Angel Gutierrez for third on Ludovic Charette, but Samadillo going to try to pull away here from the 79.
One thing I would like to mention is that because this is a short track, the drivers that have damage, like Charette and Scholes, might not be too much of a problem with this one for being a short track, and they might just be just fine, as Charette is in that 4th spot. Gutierrez wanted to chase down Samadillo. Gutierrez won the Indy 250, I should say, and force of habit of being a native.
See, I go the other way with that. I always call the real life one the Indy 250. Gutierrez is going to take the race lead away from Nicholas Samadillo, and he made that look easy as well. That 16 is definitely on a rail right now. Samadillo going to fall back to second. Zaidel in third. Ludovic Charette and Matt Tuck, the top 5 here at Winchester. You got Blaine Keys, Vinny Scholes, Avery Alford, Jesse Turner, who are the 2 more dominant drivers in the heats. They're 8th and 9th right now. Drew Webb, Thomas Troxel, and Luna Lona a lap down. But Angel Gutierrez trying to get his first ever win in a stock car. And, you know, he's said a lot of things about that. I know he wants to get one as Troxel.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That looks like a mechanical issue on the 62 machine, and I don't know if he's going to get back around.
That might be a tire or some kind of an engine issue or mechanical issue. Something has gone south on that 62 machine.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate break for Thomas Troxel, who definitely had a much better run going than what he's got right now. And he's down the pit lane, and it looks like his day, well, his chances at least of winning this race are going to end right there. So Gutierrez has an over second lead right now, Nicholas Samadillo. Samadillo going to try to close in. I tell you, this guy is probably tired of finishing second all the time. He did that at least 5 or 6 times in the Wall Cup Series. I don't remember the exact number, but it was around that number. And he finished second so many times. If he had won just one of those races in the Wall Cup Series last year, he would have won the championship ahead of Drew Webb, but just not enough to defeat the eventual champion Drew Webb. Ludovic Charette here, running third. Great run for Ludovic, and you got Justin Zaidel in 4th with Matt Tuck still in 5th. So they've spread out quite a bit right here. Turner's actually falling back. Now down to 10th, and only 10 drivers on the lead lap now. He is the last driver on the lead lap currently. Nicholas Samadillo trying to stay within the distance of the 16 of Gutierrez, but Gutierrez trying to pull away. Is you never know, you may not end up with another caution in this race, and we could be racing this out to the end, but we're only halfway through this feature event here, and Gutierrez trying to defeat the 59 of Nicholas Samadillo for the first win of the year.
And this number 16 is gaining so much every lap. And not that time, but it was 1.3 and then 1.7, and now it's 1.68. So Samadillo trying to close in, and that's the same as he probably does not want to finish second again. He's doing the Kyle Wilson approach in 2014 and 2015 when he started his career. Just can't pull through that win from last year of finishing second over and over and over again. Hopefully he can have some luck in 2024, trying to chase down Zaidel here for the 4th spot. Looks like he's going to get as Charette can go way wide
did it again. He did that in the heat race, and he did it again. Only this time he is going to lose the position. Matt Tuck going to take advantage, and watch out for this 54 of Matt Tuck. He's got a lot of speed in him right now. And that's, I think, you know, partly the tires just start wearing out here. You have the 98 of Vinny Scholes to the inside of Zaidel. That was a tight one there. And some guys have managed the tires much better than others. And meanwhile, Nicholas Samadillo closing in on Angel Gutierrez. Yeah, one guy who's never won in the stock car, and one guy who's finished second more times than we can count. So, you know, they both have a chip on their shoulder, and they're both going to go for this race win hard. But also, there's still 20 laps to go, and Matt Tuck is coming fast in that 54 as Vinny Scholes is now up to 4th as she moves to the inside of Ludovic Charette.
Yeah, we are in uncharted territory right now. This lap 31 and 50. The heat races were only 25 laps, and now this is the longest on these tires. I think Samzio might have been saving his tires while Gutierrez was trying to pull away. And here we go, Gutierrez and Samzio, but I don't know what happened off turn 4, but Samzio is going to try to chase
He's got it.
down. Oh my
made that
goodness.
look easy.
Wow.
He made that look easy. Gutierrez just a little wide off the corner right there, and Nicholas Samudio to the lead here on lap 32. You know, he was nowhere to be found in the heat races. And interestingly enough, the top 3 drivers here all tied for the worst average finishing position in the heat races. Well, now they are 1st through 3rd here. Matt Tuck trying to close in on these guys, not really able to do so, and Nicholas Samudio now starting to really pull away from this 16 of Angel Gutierrez, and I think that 59 may be the fastest car right here in this feature. They're just saving it all for the last race. Meanwhile, Troxel, who is probably on fresher tires because he came down the pit lane, had to repair the tire damage from whatever happened. He's 4 laps down and kind of slicing through the field here. So it'll be interesting to see how that ends up affecting things. Avery Alford on Justice Idell. Idell falling back quite a bit in the 79. Not a good long-run car there for Justin, unfortunately. Blaine Keys, not a good day for him. And you got Drew Webb and Jesse Turner. You know, it's a shame for Zidell and Turner because this will be the only race they run in this series. Next week we'll have different drivers in these cars. First we'll do the vote. The vote's probably already been announced for who's going to be in the South Boston race by the time you guys are seeing this. But at the time of us recording this, we don't know. Nicholas Samudio knows that he's got a good shot of winning, but Gutierrez is still within striking distance, 1.3 seconds. And, you know, we could still end up with a caution, especially you got Troxel kind of slicing through the field right here. He could shake these guys up a little bit to get a little interesting.
Yeah, without doubt, Troxel on fresh tires, everyone else on old tires. Could get interesting, and I do think that's exactly what happened. Samdio was saving his tires a little bit, knew that, hey, there's still 20 laps to go, save some tire left, and that's what he's done. And well, here's Troxel trying to get one of his last bat, trying to chase down Samdio. And right now, it's looking pretty good for Samdio. Saved his stuff, and he has a almost 2-second lead over Gutierrez and almost a 6-second lead over Matt Tuck.
Yeah, Matt Tuck has fallen off quite a bit there. Ladovic Charette, Vinny Scholes continue the battle. Avery Alford not too far off of these guys right here. And you got Vinny making a move there for the 4th position. Of course, each position is worth 2 points, and you get an extra bonus point for winning the feature event as well. So Sam Medeo in line to get 25 points towards the championship right here. He's got to be careful with Troxel. Going to let him by at a good time, but I think even the tires are starting to wear out on Troxel because he's been out there a few laps. 10 laps to go here in the feature event. The Champion Superstar Series from Winchester. Nicholas Samedio's got a 2-second lead right now on Angel Gutierrez, and Gutierrez starting to slip back. How about Vinny Scholes, though, looking for 3rd on Matt Tuck. Matt Tuck got around all those guys, and then he lost his momentum, and now Vinny is up to the 3rd position. Great run for her.
Great run from Vinny Scholes, and I mentioned of how the damage is not really going to affect these drivers with it being a short track, and that's exactly what has happened with Vinny Scholes and Ladovic Charette. And good job for those 2 drivers maintaining a top 5 position. Gonna get some good points here in the feature. As here's Troxel catching up to Samdio, trying to get one of his 4 laps back. It would be interesting if this was a longer race, like a 100 lap race or something, if Troxel could get his other 3 laps back, but that's not going to be the case, obviously.
I don't think he wouldn't be able to do that, because his tires are going to wear out regardless.
Yeah.
They're gonna wear out, and I think they kind of already have worn out, and he is going to get... Whoa! He just put Samudio in the wall! Oh my goodness, and this is a huge opportunity for Angel Gutierrez to close in on that 59. My goodness, you know, I was just saying, you know, if you're Samudio, you want to let him by easily. Well, that was the worst possible way to let him by, and you know what? We've got ourselves a race on our hands. Gutierrez is closed in on Samudio, and I don't think this thing is over. That might not, you know, you said the damage might not affect these guys too much. Well, it might affect Samudio. He lost so much momentum there. Now a half a second for Gutierrez, trying to close in on Nicholas Samudio for this race win.
It was a 2-second lead, and it is now only half of a second. I tell you what, if Samudio loses this race, there's gonna not be some happy words being set down on pit road St. Fossil and Sam Badillo.
Sam
But
Badillo's
Sam
a chill
Badillo-
guy. He'll keep a cool head, but yeah, I can imagine he's not going to be too happy. Problem for Gutierrez, though. Only 2 laps to go this time by for Nicholas Samadillo, and we will have to see if he can hold on to it. But one more slip up by this 59, and Gutierrez is going to be right there. This is going to be close, but I think Samadillo has managed the gap here. These last few races, or last few laps, excuse me. Here we go, white flag in the air at Winchester for Nicholas Samadillo, trying to get the first win of 2024. Gutierrez there in the 16, half a second behind. It's going to take Samadillo really getting out of line here off the exit of the final corner. And it does not look like it's going to happen. Mr. Edge opens up the year a race winner in the Champion Superstar Series. Nicholas Samadillo wins at Winchester. Angel Gutierrez, Ludovic Charette, Blaine Keys, Vinny Scholes, Matt Tuck, Justin Zidell, Avery Alford, Jesse Turner, Drew Webb, Luna Lona, and then Thomas Troxel. And that right there is Nicholas Samadillo's 25th career win on the channel. Huge congratulations to him there. He just tied Jesse Turner in a race that Jesse Turner was in. That isn't more motivation for Jesse to come back. I don't know what is, but Nicholas Samadillo pulls it off here in the first race of the Champion Superstar Series. Now, I don't think he's going to be the points leader, but you guys will see the points when we are done here, so we're not going to focus too much on that. But how about that race? Nicholas Samadillo pulling it off here at the Winchester Speedway.
What a race. Troxel about had some controversy right there, but Samadillo was able to keep his cool, was able to manage the gap, and actually was able to pull away by a 10 for 2. But of course, it was not a short track race without a little bit of unneeded drama, but Samadillo still gets the win. Gutierrez is second and Charette in third. Pretty good top 3, but third place is over 5 seconds ahead, dominating one late for Samadillo.
And what a win there for Nicholas Samadillo. Only got 1 win all year in 2023, and that was the IndyCar Series at Chicagoland, and he almost didn't even win that one. He starts off the year with a win, and that's a good sign for Nicholas Samadillo going into the Wawa Cup Series here soon, because if he can get that momentum and finally get a win in the Cup Series, watch out. He is going to be hard to beat. Angel Gutierrez, solid run for him there, finishing second. And you got Ludovic Charette in third, who I think Ludovic may end up taking the points lead here after the first event. Blaine Keys and Vinny Scholes round out the top 5. Well, next week we're going to be at South Boston, only that race is going to be Thursday night, because next week is the big night. January 19th in the Discord is where the signups will be. 12 drivers will be put into the Wawa Cup Series draft slots, and then the owners are going to pick those 12 drivers in order. We'll have the draft lottery just before the signups, and then the draft after the signups, and we're all going to do it on a live stream next Friday night. We are excited for that, January 19th, starting around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, but the signups themselves will go live at 7 p.m. in the Discord only. I cannot stress that enough. They're not going to be here on YouTube for the Wawa Cup Series, and then we'll also have some full-time spots for the HERS Sprint Series as well, so if you just miss out on the Wawa Cup Series, you're going to be placed into the drawing for that, and you'll be full-time in the Sprint Series as well, and that'll be a lot more fun this year as well. We're revamping the HERS Sprint Series. Used to be the Wawa Sprint Series, now the HERS Sprint Series is going to change things up a little bit. Going to be a lot of fun this year. We got a lot of great racing coming up here, and we had a great one to kick off the year here from Winchester. Nicholas Samadillo in victory lane. You know it's good when he gets a race victory, and we'll have to see how the rest of the series plays out. We'll see you next Thursday night from South Boston with 2 new drivers and then the 10 full-time competitors in the series going after it there in Southeast Virginia. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Congratulations to Nicholas Samadillo, and on behalf of Nathan Stapleton, here are the points for the Champion Superstar Series after the first event of the year, and I will see you guys later.